Okay. Okay. That was almost bad. Hello, darlings. Hello, darlings. There we go. Sorry, I had to widen that base because. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I swear I thought I turned that right side up. Hello, hello. I think I'm gonna wear this tonight. Goes with that. Yeah. Checking options real quick. Yeah, I think I like that the most. I end up filming tonight instead of today because I took a little bit more time to do some other stuff. We've got the we're setting the scene, as it were. How's everybody doing? So this is probably going to be the dress. We're trying it on over the other clothing because, you know, reasons. Lots of leg, lots of side. I don't think I need to pair that with anything. Somewhat, yeah. I think this is going to be the... Somewhat, yeah. I think this is going to be the coat that I wear tonight. Hello? It's one of my favorites, and actually, I think this is the first coat I ever made for myself. Let me... Let me know if that's better. I don't know what it is with this frickin' phone and the frickin' Wi-Fi. Yeah, I think this one. Yay! Right? This is still, like, one of my absolute favorite coats. If your nose hasn't closed, I'd highly say put it back in now. Because I know the face heals deceptively fast. I've got the dress. I've got the... I designed the thorn cross myself. I put the detail on there with the sewing machine that I had way back in the day, which actually had a jagged stitch. Put it back in. It hasn't been long enough. Especially if you're going through cartilage, it hasn't been long enough. Put it back in. We're talking about both deceptively fast and one of the worst parts of your body to try and heal. So I'll probably be, I'll be wearing these tonight. Thank you. I made it myself. Yeah, we've got the dress, got the boots, we've got the coat for sure. I think I'll decide stockings later on. But I definitely want to do, I think, black stockings. I think we're going to do like an all black number. I think I'm going to try and go for the most, oh my goodness kind of look. Nowhere tonight. I'm just putting together an outfit for another photo shoot that I want to do. This way I'm ahead of the curve instead of behind it. Plus I'm just having some really fantastic energy. And I've got my witchy stuff already set up, ready to go. So I'm almost thinking of doing like a midnight mass. I realized when I first tried to do the photo shoot right after I let you guys off earlier today that I had enough light coming in through the windows behind me that it was making the shots a lot more difficult. A lot more back illuminated, but in a bad way. So instead I'm gonna go kind of witchy vibes. I think I'm gonna have to, move some things around at some point. But I want to get, like, some altar shots. Pardon as I slowly slide through places. I want to get some altar shots. I think some tarot cards. I think I want to... I'm planning, because I have a very limited space, more or less, and just like a couple of different places that I can get that all together. I made it. I had the absolute joy of making this. Give me half a second, I need to go grab my fangs. I just realized that I left them in the wash. Hello, my darlings. How are we this evening? Okay, let's see if I can get over and around things. There we are. Hello, darlings. How are we this evening? Pardon as I slowly but surely get into my ever so loved inner birthery. A little tired, I can understand that. Trust me, I can definitely understand that. Hello, darling. How are you doing? There we go. Why, thank you, darling. I did a deep condition I'm letting it slowly dry. And then I also added a bit of beeswax, so it's holding the shape of the curls much more without being stiff. Why, thank you. How are we this evening? Oh, pardon, I have been doing so much today. Da, da, da. There we go. Hello, hello. Right, I have to love a good air dry. So I'm thinking a witchcraft kind of theme. I think I'm going to leave the hair kind of wild, because it is just looking too dang good to tie up. Sometimes like a little bit, not like a whole bunch, but I do have some Stray Kids. I've got some Blackpink. Occasionally I listen to GX, and I know that that's not necessarily J-pop, or I'm sorry, K-pop per se. But I like J-pop, K-pop. I like certain types and styles. I also do know the rather dark side of that as well. So I am well aware of how members are treated, and I really hope that starts improving soon, because nobody should be forced into basically modern day servitude. It is a little too wild at times. Oh, nice. Yeah, everybody seems to really gravitate towards BTS, and honestly, they've got a great sound. But yeah. So yeah, the diets are insane. And it doesn't matter whether you're male or female. Their dieting standards are hellacious. Because childlike kind of is the aesthetic that they are going for, that super thin, almost teenage body. Hey, how you doing, Robbie? But beyond that, they pay their performers next to nothing. They keep grueling schedules. Their dance routine rehearsals are unhinged. Like we are talking, they try to drive them at times to dance for like 12, 16 hours straight. They pay them next to nothing. They have no fucking privacy. Like, it would make you go pale if you like truly understood how poorly they treat them. We're talking about K-pop, and it does extend to a certain point over into like J-pop, C-pop, any pop group bands especially. But yeah, like I think Korea has mandatory military service, and when some of their group members have to go in to the military service, they of course have to eat like the military eats, and they pack on weight. And it's not that they are packing on even fat per se, they're just packing on A, healthy weight, and B, muscle. Because they are just, they're being run, they're being put through paces. And they get some of the most unhinged amount of like super fan hate. Oh my god, they've gained so much weight. Oh my god, they've gotten so chunky. Bitch, I don't think you know what muscle mass looks like. The fuck? Yeah, just like look into how much they pay, or I should say don't pay, their group members. Look into the dark side, and yeah, it's a little terrifying sometimes. That, and they've got, they've got fans, and then they've got super fans, and then they also have things called anti-fans and super anti-fans. So, like, the level of delusion and obsession can be frightening, especially coming from a fan base. Hey! Hello, hello, hello. Hiya. Hi, Miss Tyler. Hello, Identity. Let's see, we've got a flash goal. 9 gifters, 1 rose, just regular rose, not rosa. 1 rose each. How's everybody doing this evening? Don't mind me, I need a fidget. And if I pick up the dang pendulum, it's gonna complete the blasphemous look. Wow, we're up to 50% already. Thank you. I appreciate that. Holy crap. Hey. How you doing, Miss Tyler? I hope you and the family are doing well and that you're not working yourself too hard. Been better going to watch in silence tonight. Oh, no worries, no worries. Take your time. I appreciate it. But yeah, no worries. It happens. I'm trying to figure out. I like my corsets, but also I want to do more. There are times I honestly wish I could split myself into multiple people just so I could like hyper focus on each thing that I want to get done. Although on the plus side, with your help, I got all of this week taken care of as far as posting for YouTube, old lives so that they can go into the backlog, so I can start to get it caught up. And then I am posting up the nail field trips that we went out and did. Yeah. Not too bad. I don't know. I'm in a little bit of a weird energy, but not in a bad mood at all. Just there's a lot to do, and I need something to catch traction. So yeah, Oh, thank you. So I did a deep moisturizer, and then on top of that deep moisturizer, I did a little bit of beeswax. So I'm definitely going to be putting my hair up in a bonnet tonight, to say the least. But yeah, the beeswax gives the curl more definition without making it like crunchy. I was thinking, yeah, maybe I could just throw some gel on it, which would take forever to dry in this rather cold weather, but yeah. I try and shower, at least in the cold months especially, I try to shower at least once every other day. And by shower, I mean, go full tilt. But yeah, I think I do shampoo 2-3 times a week. And then regular conditioner, definitely at least 4 times a week. Deep conditioner twice a week. Because my hair sometimes airs towards the side of European, sometimes airs towards the side of African diaspora. It's been kind of dry lately, so right now it's airing towards the side of African diaspora, so I'm hitting it with all of the moistures, all of the conditioners, all of the things that will keep it soft and pliable. Oh, they do. They really, truly do. Like, I can get really super good leverage in there, and they're super effective. Not to mention, they feel really good. And I still have a good enough grip because they are pretty much my nail underneath. I've got really good grip pressure. Just every now and again, I gotta find something a little bit larger to wrap my hand around because I can feel some of my joints getting a little tight because I can't make a solid fist. I know, first world problems. I don't tend to oil my scalp only because I can always it always feels like not quite right. I don't know how to explain it. It ends up feeling greasy but sticky, and I don't like it. I really don't like. There's something about, like, I tried tea tree oil, which is, nice for calming the scalp and everything, but like I don't like the way it feels on my hair after a couple of hours. Right, yeah, yeah. And like, I don't think I think when people go, "Well, how often do you shower? How often do you wash your hair?" It's like, I step into water pretty much every day, but you cannot wash your hair with shampoo every single day unless you want to strip all of the oils off, which can cause a whole host of problems: breakage, brittleness, looking like a haystack. Um, Whereas, like, some people, all they need is dry shampoo. Some people, like, you can't hit it with soap unless you are doing a deep conditioner to go with. Yo. Well, I just hopped on about 20 minutes ago, so. Oh, yeah. Yeah, different hair types are generally very, very different in what you can do with it on a daily basis. Now, if my hair was a little bit more European and produced its own oil, I would probably be hitting it with the shampoo more often, but yeah. Ooh, once every 2 weeks. Do you have a highly dry hair or highly... How are you managing that? Is, I guess, what I'm asking. Because, yeah, it's a balancing act. Oh, okay, I get what you mean then. I get what you mean. Yay! We do love a good decompression. Yeah, yeah. If you've got super dry hair, I would highly suggest looking into like hair mayonnaise if you haven't already. Those deep conditioners, oh my god, they make such a difference. Uh, Uncle Funky's Uncle Funky's daughter is the name of a hair company, and they are so good at hydrating products. Oh, fair, very fair, very fair. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think it's usually during like the summer months. I have to wash my hair practically every day because in the summer months when everything is hot, like, just I will produce oil like I'm a teenager and it's going out of style. But like in the cooler winter months, my hair tends to lean towards the dry side. So I have to hit it with so much moisturizer. It can be. It can be. It can be. But yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't think in summer I can go. Like, I use slightly smaller amounts of shampoo and everything, but like I can't go, 2 3 days without using shampoo because the oil is just so prevalent that I can. That buildup where just it feels kind of grimy. I don't know if that's the right word that I'm looking for, but it's like you just touch it and you're going, ew. Yeah. Oh, you live near Burt's Bees? Nice. They actually have some pretty good products. I will admit, I love their lip care lines. Those work really, really well for me. Their lotion, sometimes it works. Sometimes it clings to the top of your skin and just kind of stays there. So, Yeah, oh my god. I need to find, like, I have a bath net, but it's not like an African bath net right now, and I need something that just will scrub the living daylights out of my skin. I need to take off like the first 3 layers. I just want to super exfoliate. Don't mind me, I have to fidget. One way or another, I gotta fidget. If anybody needs tarot cards, Blinks or Lio, feel free to have that. It's $5 per. How's everybody doing? I know that we've got another supposed ban coming up on the 5th, which would basically be Saturday. Which means we could be actually losing access at about midday on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So, ooh, it's storming and it's hot. Oh, so you're just sitting around in soup. Oh, now are you at least getting like thunder and lightning to go with that soup storm, or are you just going? Nope, it's just hot and wet, and not in a good way. Oh, the sticky hue. I hate those. Oh, those are the worst. Like, I absolutely adore a storm. I love some, thunder, lightning, wind, all of that kind of good stuff. Ooh, when it just feels like you're just sticking to yourself and that you can never get dry. Ugh. Ooh, what did I miss? Oh yeah. I used to grow my own loofah. I wish I had one kind of in process right now. I freaking love a good loofah because you cut that bad boy, just cut it open. All you need is about 2-3 inches worth, and oh my goodness, it polishes your skin practically. I absolutely adore a good loofah. Although I will tell you, that loofah vine will choke your garden out. Like it treats any other garden plants like it's MMA and just chokes other plants out. I think it puts out a type of enzyme that slows growth. It will bind and wrap around practically anything and everything. It climbs at an accelerated rate. Yeah. 100% correct. And then oh my goodness. It drinks water like it is the thirstiest you've ever met. Like, so thirsty. Hey, how you doing, Animar? How is everyone? It's funny, but also they're so prolific, and especially if they become dry and the hull cracks, those seeds go everywhere. Like, they're small, they're black, and if they hit soil, they become pretty much invisible to a certain degree. You're like, shit, I hope we got them all. I guess we'll find out in like a month, because they sprout so fast. Hey, I'm doing good tonight. How you doing, Monique? Eh, I'm tired, but I got a lot of stuff done. I got YouTube scheduled for the next week. I'm working on getting my verified sites taken care of for the week, as I am trying to do a couple of photo shoots, just so I have stuff ready to go and I have a little bit more time to like work on editing and whatnot. So yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 I think the only thing I've found that is more tenacious than loofah is, well, nasturtium. Nasturtium is very prolific, and it will grow so fast and butt in front of other plants and just block out the light as fast as it can. And it climbs too. That's the wild part of it. It climbs. I didn't think that plant could do that. And mint, because mint is a rhizome and it's dang near impossible to get fully rid of. Do I do spells? Yes, I do. I'm a practicing witch. I've been doing so for 25 years now. I also read tarot cards, and I've been doing that for about 15 years. And I've just leaned into the more me side in the last like year or so. So yeah. Well, I mean, essays aren't like super hard. Oh, it's only $5 per card. Links are in Lio. There are some direct ways to go about that. But yeah. Hey, Kaylin. I mean, essays aren't necessarily difficult. I can write some good. Forget essays. I write good research papers. Hi. Sometimes it's just really, really hard to cut down on how many ideas I have going in, so I have to write everything sort of out first and then go back and edit. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Anytime you pay, because I do these live, anytime you pay, just come right on back and I read them live for you. I prefer reading live. That way, you know you're getting what you paid for. Yeah. I'm doing okay. Hanging in there. Hanging in there. Got a lot done. There's still so much more to do. I'm trying to hang in there at this point. I really am. You know how it goes. Although I'll have to say the pictures that I took and edited from last week, they came out so dang good. I honestly wish I'd started taking those kind of pictures earlier, because holy shit, I look good. I know. It's hard for me to do just one step at a time, you know. So I just use laptop is old, but it's still in working order enough for that. So I just bring it up in photos. I usually add a touch more light, because, you know, this is nice and all, but I would like a little bit more light. And then I also up my contrast so that there's a little bit more definition. I tend to deepen my shadows just a touch. And sometimes I soften the focus. Sometimes I make them a little bit sharper. Luckily, with this new phone, it is so much easier to tell which direction I need to go. As I remember the old photos. Pardon goodness. They weren't horrible, but sometimes they would just be blurry and not like fixable by focusing, sharpening, that kind of stuff. I wish that the editing program that I had would be a little bit stronger, only because I want to deepen the vignette, basically the dark margins around a picture. I want to deepen the vignette a touch, just to give a slightly more old-timey feel. And then I usually blur the background. So even when I have a lot of stuff going on in the background, I blur it so that my body, what I'm wearing, everything is the most in focus thing, and therefore draws the eyes, while the stuff that's in the background is in the background, and since it's out of focus, your eyes will disregard it a little bit more. Are these like cosplay photos? Yes. Yes, they're cosplay photos of Inna. Oh, perfect. 3 card read. Thank you so much, dear. Da-da. So yeah, I finally bumped it up to about a 4 out of 5 on the spicy rating. And honestly, I'm the pictures came out really well. I have never been a person who, when looking at something from an artistic mindset, has gone less is more. I've always gone, there's always room to have a lot of coverage, a lot of stuff going on while still being artistic in what you show. So yes, I use a timer. B, I use like with my phone you can actually show the palm of your hand and it'll take the photo, which I pair that with the timer. That way I'm like, get into position, quickly, show off the palm of my hand, and it'll start doing the countdown, and then I can like readjust anything I need around me real quick, my positioning real quick, and then just sit and hold. So yeah, I love the timer function. I found the spoken function. I hated it. Because it would sit there and go, I didn't hear you, I didn't understand you. I'm like, this is not a difficult command. Nothing worse than screaming at your phone. But yeah, that, and I've got a decent ring light. I'm trying to learn how to take photos with what's the, so like slightly more, yeah, 3 card right. You are correct. I'm just giving it a really good mix around, because last thing I want, because I was reading from this earlier, last thing I want is to accidentally grab cards that were just already part of something I was reading. So I like to make sure to give it a really good mix. But yes. King of Cups. Ooh, the World. Ooh, and the Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, rousing good time. The King of Cups is the first to come out. Big opportunity. Like something that could actually, like, change your personal world. Big opportunity, getting lined up, getting set up, being presented. And it feels like it's very, very involved. So it's probably not something you're going to be doing by yourself. It's probably something that you're going to be doing with other people, like a team or a group. But like your contribution is very key to all of this. And the King of Cups, very jovial, very polite, very nice. A little eccentric in a good way. It almost feels like they're doing this as a present for somebody else. But like they entrust everybody that they have brought together, put together. I think that's why we have this as the game changer. Kind of getting the world, as it were. Because yeah, it feels like there's like going to be a lot of accolades, a lot of talk, a lot of whispers behind the scenes, a lot of people talking to, people. And not even just like on a civilian level, but like on a level of people who have more refined tastes, who are connoisseurs, who know good stuff when they see it. And yeah, they want a piece of it too. So, I hope not. Because you're getting the Queen of Pentacles also. If somebody has been doing you wrong, they're going to be eating crow. Basically, they're gonna watch as you glow. Cause yeah, it feels like you're so busy that it's not like you even have time to worry about other things. Yeah, no, nothing else matters in the moment other than the project, the process, the you getting just desserts. Don't know why just desserts is such a keyword. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. Feminine energy, refined taste, but she feels on the younger side. Sometimes when you get refined taste, it's somebody who feels older. This feels younger, sociable, a little bit of a prima donna, but like a prima donna who is very not spendthrift. Definitely not spendthrift. Um, I think she comes in after the King of Cups. After you've done this project. She is definitely a patron to court. You're gonna have to be a little bit more patient with I say her, it's just because the energy is so incredibly feminine and bubbly. But yeah, like when you meet them you'll know. You'll know. They're gonna be a bit of a handful to work with, but the money is really good. And it's just that they're slightly more flighty than you're used to per se. A little bit more high energy. But yeah, once they know that you understand the vision that they want to create, they pretty much hand you the reins. They give you the coin purse, whatever you need, you're good to go, and they leave you to it. So yeah, it feels like this is going to be a little bit whirlwind, a little bit much at points and times. You know, definitely learn how to delegate, how to shift things as you need. But all in all, this is a good glow up, and I know it might be hard, but like if there's anything that's up in your forefront trying to get your attention that does not serve you well, it's okay to push that to the side because this is a big opportunity and yeah, it's going to pay some hefty dividends in the best ways possible. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, just if you're having problems with somebody, don't worry. They don't serve nothing. They don't serve for nothing. Hey, Animar. Do, 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 do. Hello, everybody. How are we doing tonight? Pardon my brain sometimes wanders off the end of all these. Not bad. Got a lot more stuff scheduled. All of the stuff that I need to schedule for this week on YouTube is up and running, and then I scheduled some photo set drops on some of my verified sites. I think I'm going to try and do another photo shoot tonight with kind of a witchy Lilith kind of theme. But yeah. Playing a bit of Genshin Impact. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, mostly I'm trying not to like stress out because of you know, just everything that's going on. Oh, let me edit. Oh, nope. There we go. Setting up goals. Setting up goals. Yay. Usually by the intensity. If it's just me being anxious, like right now, I'm feeling a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of anxiousness, but it's like low key and just it's there, but it's, you know, it's like, okay, I'm a little tense, I'm a little tight, but it's not horrible. This morning, on the other hand, it literally felt like somebody, again, when I say fist in the middle of the chest, it felt like somebody was pushing me down into the mattress to keep me there. And if I tried to sit up, it got worse. And it wasn't painful, it just felt like a massive amount of pressure and anxiety. Like to the nth degree. I'm like, oh, okay. Somebody's telling me don't. So yeah, it's definitely the intensity, and I think my guides know that they practically have to hit me with a ball peen hammer to get the point across because I am head blind at times. Ooh, got another 3-card pull. Hello, hello. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to. That's what I'm hoping to. It happens. Yep. I just saw that come through. I'm hoping it's because they really wanted me to like schedule a bunch of stuff so that I could be, you know, ready to go and just get a bunch of stuff set up now so I wouldn't worry about it throughout the week. Yeah. That, and I think I need to start looking into more fun things to do. Which it looks like I may have found a rope class. So I'm actually kind of thinking of going to that. That would be next week, Wednesday night, I believe. So I'm hoping that I can get all of my stuff together as I need it and get that in place so I can do it. Right, that's what I'm hoping. That is honestly what I'm hoping. Yeah, and so to answer your question, yeah, sometimes my guides will make things more what's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes they will kind of give me that gentle, you know, come on, you're looking really good today. You know, the hair's going on, the makeup's gonna go well. I'm just saying, I'm just. So yeah, like sometimes I will feel a not so gentle push towards doing that. And that's what I've been getting the push to do a lot lately. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lean in. Hope I'm doing the right. Well, no, I know I'm doing the right thing. I know sometimes the universe has fucking weird timing for certain shit. And also, I'm just praying that I have the open mind and that I recognize the signals when they come through. And I don't dawdle. I am a little bit anxious today. I'm definitely a little bit anxious today. Nope. Nope. Death card isn't bad. That card is just a card of change. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So the death card is just transition. It's changing from one thing to another. It's usually a big change, but it does not mean that, you know, things are going to go horribly. Right? That's what. Maybe between the hormones, the moon, the sun, the Venus retrograde, the Mars eclipse, the Mercury retrograde, moving into Pluto and Neptune. Yeah, like, there's a lot of shit going on. Thank you. Okay, 3-card pull. Three of Pentacles. Ooh, 5 of Cups, King of Swords. So, same. So, 3 of Pentacles is working together, usually in groups. Feels like you know the people. Like, you know them like acquaintances, you know them like co-workers, you don't necessarily know them like friends, but it feels like there's a certain knowledge that you've built of the people that you're working with. Seems like you work usually rather well together. And for the most part, I mean, this is upright, so has not been a calamity Jane of any sort. But the rhythm feels a little off. Like, you're not gelling quite as well as you could, per se. And that might be the 5 of Cups reverse energy. So the five of Cups is kind of that. It's not even regret. It's not quite FOMO. It's when you kind of get locked into that sadness, or locked into the, darn, you know, yeah, I had these good times, but I let some of this stuff slip through my hands, and it's like, yes, and you're kind of getting stuck on that. And not like in an intentional way. Like, whatever is throwing off the rhythm has really grabbed on. And it is just diverting your attention. Like, you're showing up at about 80%, but that other 20% is super distracted. And you're like, do I put everything down and just, do I deal with the bullshit that is holding me back, or do I just try and plow through with what I'm doing currently and then, you know, deal with everything at the end? Hey. King of Swords reversed. Yeah, no, communication's a big issue. Big issue. A lot of things have been left unsaid. A lot of unspokens have been damaged. I think Mercury retrograde had a big hand in that. So, you know, definitely take it with a grain. But yeah, usually the swords are communication, and the King of Swords tends to be really good at communicating. Whether that be by the blunt of the sword or by the sharp of the sword. He's usually really good at communicating what he needs, what he wants, what actions need to be taken. But in reverse, it almost feels like some of that sword energy is harmful to self. So like the words sting. And yes, the intended target is feeling it, but like you're also feeling the sting from it as well. So it's definitely a double-edged sword, and right now it's being held incorrectly. I think we've got about another week in Mercury retrograde, which is the rulership of communication. Um, if you need to say something to somebody, like if you really need to have a heart to heart with them, I would say wait a little bit. Like give it some breath, give it some room, give it some time, and wait for this air to clear just a touch before you tell them. Because if you don't, there could be a little bit too much anger, a little too much heat. At the very least, there would be some misunderstanding as to how you are saying something because you're already frustrated. And that frustration is not going to serve you when you need to be very clear and concise with your communication. Overall, it might actually damage it further. So wait for a little bit of cooling and wait for a little bit of clarity. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely wait for your opportunity. I pulled an extra card just because I wanted clarity myself. It was too murky. So yeah, Ace of Cups, which is new opportunity, new chance, that kind of thing. So yeah, wait for a better opportunity, wait for things to cool, wait till you have, the words if you need to think about the situation and like maybe write it out or build some talking points, do that. And then when you have a good opportunity, when you feel more in tune with your words and more in tune with what you need to say, then say it. But yeah, don't don't go into it right now. You might be a little too aggro, little too gung ho, and yeah, that might not work out well. So yeah, you're welcome, dear. You are welcome. I'm glad I could help. Oh, your workplace is. Oh God. Oof. Oofta. 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 Honestly, no, because I've had more than enough. I've had more than enough bad fun times to have lasted me a good long while. So I actually prioritize getting to know somebody a bit first. Huh. If I told you how long it's been since I've actually had happy fun times with another person, you would laugh. You would honestly laugh. And rightfully so. But I've been definitely guarding myself for a good long while, especially after the last couple of relationships that I had, which were very, very toxic and incredibly detrimental. So I was like, yeah, no, we're not jumping into anything. I need to back up. I need to make sure that I'm not repeating old habits, old mistakes, because those are toxic and those hurt, and it sets me much further back for a much longer time. Let me make sure it's not me, especially it's not me making bad decisions. So yeah, it's a decade. About a decade. Now, I will give it that I had just gotten out of a really shitty relationship, and then I found out I had cancer. And then I had to recover from cancer for a couple of years, and then I had an absolute catastrophe breakdown with my family, ended up having to move out in very short order. So like my life has been chaos for about the last decade, and not in a great way. So yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, rightfully so. I mean, when your place of business, when your job is starting to shut down, you're rightfully in your feelings. But definitely like write it out, and form a game plan to say what you need to say when you need to say it. I still am very much planning on migrating away from TikTok towards favorited. Probably around the 5th of April, I will be moving over to favorited. So yeah. I think a lot of people are prioritizing themselves, being calm, being happy, being fulfilled, and then thinking about dating relationships and whatnot. But like, it's not like it's sometimes it feels like really slim pickings out here, if you know what I mean. See, I was lucky. I got the fun part ripped out, so left me with a log jam and the water slide, which that's honestly all I wanted. But yeah, the rest of that, yeet. Thank goodness too, because I was not. No, thank you. Mm-mm. Right? I waffle between. You know what? I can be single for the rest of my life, and I really want a couple of partners as long as they're really, really well behaved, good boys, and or maybe a femme would be nice as well. I'm like, I will leave my options open. Because I know me, every time I go, yeah, this is what I want, the opposite will show up, and I'm like, that's pretty too. Right, it is. It has been wildly slim pickings. So yeah, yeah, something's not right. You're 100% correct on that. There is something that is just not right going on around here, and I'm not sure what they're planning on, but single and celibate for the, yeah, I don't blame you. I honestly don't blame. There are definitely times that I'm like, I am so close to just, but I also recognize the kind of man or the kind of masculine I am looking for. Um, when I was in relationships with dominant, and I do mean that ever so light, when I was in a relationship with dominant men, I found them insufferable rather quickly, and they were definitely detrimental to my overall mental, spiritual, emotional health. But when I was in a relationship with a person who was more submissive, slash switch, that was a much, much, much more healthy relationship. Thank you. Thank you so much for your subscription. If you are a subscriber, let me know if you would like your monthly card pull, and I might be able to tell you something. Feel free to ask the question. No, funny enough, I am much more open to the pantheon of femmes, and I've been kind of unpacking why I kind of leaned towards palm colored men, and that's because of trauma. That is 100% because of trauma, and my father being the key traumatizer. But yeah, like I've had several really super nasty run in with men who look more like me, and they were the ones that openly and aggressively fetishized me, and tried to tell me I was going to be their breeding stock, and I didn't like that. I took severe offense to that. Whereas palm colored men were a little bit different. Not necessarily less toxic, just less overt about it. So yeah, it was a level of how aggressively in my face was it versus how covert was it. Let me see if I can reset my goals. Do do do. Finger hearts. Let's do finger hearts. Thank you so much for getting me to my goal. I'm trying to light up my gallery, as it were. I'm trying. Finger hearts. There we go. Doot, doot. There we go. Thank you. Right. And yeah. Now, luckily, I have opted to go or at least I'm focusing more on going to black lead Quinky spaces educationally. So I know that I'm going to be interacting with people who do look more like me. And honestly, I have found some really, really good kinship so far with black majority spaces. I tend to be the odd one out, or at least the lightest person in the room so far. But like the community, the kinship, the being able to talk to other people, so much better, so much faster. Oh, thank you for the finger hearts. Hello. So yeah. When it comes to femmes, I want to say the first woman I really fell in love with in real life was palm colored. And she was like pale. We are talking blue eyes, red hair, pale. But my last girlfriend was darker than me by a whole lot of shades. And I really did. It was a sapphic relationship, and then it went really wrong. But again, I don't blame or add bias either way towards either one, because when I got together with my feminine relationships, with my sapphic relationships, it was so much more about their personality, who they were as a person, how they treated me, which is why I was so surprised when shit went wrong with my last girlfriend. I was like, the fuck? So, yeah. It's all about getting to really know the person, get involved with the person. But yeah, I'm looking back and I'm like, my Virgo is definitely Latin. And I'm like, yeah, I dated a string of palm colored men. A lot of them in the military. Some of them very short term, which was totally fine, but I'm looking back and I'm going, oh, that's, yeah, I had a type. Probably not the best for me, but I had a type. Hello. How's everybody doing? We've got the tarot cards on deck. So we're doing some readings here and there. If you get me up to 10K, I will go ahead and pull a community card. But yeah. Ask any questions you want. Feel free, have at. I will definitely answer. I won't answer questions. That's not a problem. But yeah. Not too bad. I got a lot of stuff scheduled. Literally ready to go. I don't have to touch anything for about the next week over on YouTube. Other than to, respond to comments and whatnot. But yeah, that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing that TikTok will possibly be banned in 5 days. Honestly, I think they're really just trying to piss us off at this point. Because we threw that unholy fit to keep this platform the last time they did this. And I think they're like an abusive ex. I think they are trying to push us towards that kind of response again, so that we will again fight for and put a lot of time and effort and everything into keeping the platform. But over the last couple days, there's been so much shit that has been going wrong and sideways. I've had Christian, MAGA, right-wing, homophobic, transphobic shit pop up on my For You feed there's been almost no cooking videos. There have been almost no, like, comedy videos. No, like, no really creative, innovative people other than some of the people I follow. And sometimes I have to go over to just, like, people I follow. Let me scroll through here because I need some sanity. So, like, yeah, the algorithm has definitely changed, and it is not changed for the better. Not to mention there was that whole glitch with a bunch of people who, our accounts were clean. We didn't have any things that were, like, in bad standing, but somehow we were deeply restricted. So, yeah. It's the government. So it's the government is trying to force ByteDance to sell TikTok. ByteDance is refusing to sell TikTok, and also more importantly, the Singaporean CEO is refusing to sell the algorithm. The algorithm was so fantastically good, so incredibly keyed into being able to adjust itself to its viewership, that it was unheard of. I mean, in 5 years, this thing rocketed to, like, the height of popularity and was just, renowned worldwide for being able to key into, what the demographic wanted and being able to get us information in just minutes. And it was outpacing our regular news networks at a blinding pace. Like, literally, people on TikTok were learning about things, knowing about things, and taking care of things in minutes, if not hours. Whereas people who mostly stayed on other platforms like Facebook, Insta, WhatsApp, Kick, they wouldn't know things until about 2 weeks later. So they were behind on trends, they were deeply behind on news, they were incredibly behind on politics and bills and everything, like, of that nature. So, yeah. You're welcome, you're welcome. Thank you for asking. Honestly, thank you for asking, because right now, we are apparently in a worse position than North Korea. When Kimmy, when Kimmy Jong-un takes a look at what's going on, going, damn, y'all need help. What? Oh shit! Like, our information is getting deeply suppressed. Our news is getting deeply suppressed. We are not hardly seeing things from outside. I used to get stuff from England and France and around the world constantly, and it was a nice interspersing with everything that I liked. But yeah, we used to be getting everything from outside, and now we are so deeply censored and so deeply kept from a lot of stuff going on outside. And I don't think the outside world is seeing a lot of the stuff that we're doing or what we're going through, which is terrifying. Oh yeah. Well, it's freaking them out because since we're getting updates on the news, like, minute to minute as it's happening, it means they don't have time to actually spin the news. And when they go, oh, people are being detained, people are being, detained and sometimes arrested. When you can see a person who's just walking down the street and then approached by, like, half a dozen plainclothes people wearing masks with no identification, showing no papers, showing no badge, not identifying themselves, not showing a warrant, literally putting their hands forcibly on them and tearing, like, their jackets, their clothing, their purses and everything off of them, forcibly handcuffing them and then shoving them into an unmarked vehicle. It's really hard to spin that as somebody just being detained. That's a kidnapping. That's an abduction. Like, we see that shit and we're going, That's not detained. That's not detained. And where's the due process? Because we were all brought up to believe that we would get due process. So, and now apparently Republicans are calling winter boots on other Republicans. Who especially other Republicans who run farms, because they're like, we know that you're not going to vote our way. Fine, we're going to call winter boots on you, and they're going to come and raid your farm. What? Like, yeah, it's wild. Both sides, same coin at this point, because there are plenty of D's that are complacent, if not complicit, with the stuff that is happening. We had several D's flip to R's. We also have several D's who are still D's, but who vote in line with what they know is wildly unconstitutional. So, like, I'm not saying any which side is better. At this point, it is down to person by person, and it is a very small pool. Thing that happened at Harvard, 1,000%, yes. Right, instant. Hell, we already did some bad shit to Yemen. We hit civilian populations in Yemen. Like, fuck. China, Korea, and Japan are getting together to have a conference with each other about trade agreements. If you know anything about history, or if you know nothing about history, I'll let you know. Those three countries hate each other. They cannot stand each other. They have very, very bad blood. Thank you, darling. I appreciate it. I've been working on it. But yeah, those three have very, very, very bad blood, and they went, you know what? Let's talk about trade agreements first, then we'll worry about some other stuff. But right now, that over there is a major problem. We gotta hack this out amongst each other, because that's highly unreliable. It's like, oh shit. So basically they're working, right now our government is working like a toxic boyfriend to isolate us. And that is not a good thing. Can we be friends? Darling, this is a parasocial relationship. I have not talked to you at all, not ever, not once. So I would need to talk to you for at least 6 months to a year before I could make a solid assessment on whether or not we could be friends. Deep conditioner, a little bit of beeswax heated on the palm of your hands, and then gently run through. It gives a little bit more form to your curl, and it doesn't leave them crunchy. A little bit odd, mildly tacky at points. I think I might have used a little too much, but yeah, overall it's good. Yeah, and I mean, I think the world got pushed into the friend of my, the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of mentality. So, yeah. No, nobody has ever banned Christians. Not even Renaissance England. I mean, they kicked out Puritans, but Puritans were being assholes. Puritans were being horrific to people. But yeah, nobody has ever banned Christians. People are just fucking sick of a very particular brand of Christian, ones who have not read their Bibles, and who are being hateful, while completely forgetting, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Well, guess what? Those hateful, hateful people are now having that same energy kind of reflecting back at them, and they're going, oh my God, we're being persecuted. No, you're being told that you're being an absolute dick and to knock it off. That's all. That is all that is going on. Oh yeah, no, They get caught every other minute telling a whole ass lie. They get caught every other minute. Just, there's a reason they eliminated fact checkers. Literally, there is a reason they eliminated fact checkers. And it's because, I think, what was it? In his first term, something like 37,000 lies were told on camera to the populace, and fact checkers are like, nuh-uh, nope. Yeah, no, that literally never happened. Like when he came out with the that you should be shooting up ivermectin for COVID, or that you should be putting bleach in your veins, and I'm like, what the fuck? And people were following some of those ideas and harming themselves. Well, because he told us to, and I'm like, oh my god, critical thinking, no. And like, ooh, the amount of people who do not have discernment, who don't have media literacy, and like, I'm not fully blaming them. I am very much blaming the education system. But when I say the education system, I'm again also not blaming the teachers for the most part. Yes, we've had some shitty teachers. I'm not blaming the teachers for the most part. I am blaming the people who actually had charge over the information and how information was distributed and how we taught education. So in a lot of ways, the Daughters of the Confederacy, the people who make our textbooks, hampered us from learning actual critical thinking, actual history, all this other stuff. So yeah, we're in a bad way, and it's literally been 50 years worth of planning that have gotten us here. So it's not even like this was, oh, they just came up with a quick plan and we're able to shove it through in like 2 years and that's why we're here. No. This has been a long, slow march back into segregation and fascism, basically. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, if you go to the Blinks and Lio, thank you so much. If you go to the Blinks and Lio, it's $5 per card, and then just come right back and I read them live. You're looking at it, sort of, in a way. I have multiple ways that I go about making money to survive. Reading tarot cards. I also do art. I have my commissions that are going to be open up ever so shortly. Clothing. And, I work on some verified places as well. Trying to get those up and running and building larger audiences. Because it's also easier for me to speak without needing to code switch on said sites. So it's funny. Sometimes I get feisty while spicy and have very salient and pertinent conversations about all kinds of stuff. Honestly, usually just, again, surrounding fun topics. But yeah, I don't have to code switch for fear of, offending or otherwise. Hello. How's everybody doing? Come on in, sit on down. Should have an interesting time. Hello. Why, thank you. Yes, I have a degree of psychology as well as a degree of fashion design. I have a little bit of ADHD, so I tend to hyper-focus on certain subjects. I've been a practicing witch for 25 years. Read tarot cards for 15. And I can go down a rabbit hole like nobody's business when I'm really interested in a subject. And honestly, if this world was more utopian and more going the way I wanted to, I would be one of the most finely educated courtesans. I would just be spicy, feisty, and having fun being, Renaissance 2.0, 3.0. Oh, God, I hope we honestly get towards something that is more balanced and far less puritanical. See, never a concubine. Never a concubine. Never a concubine. Courtesan, but never a concubine. I'm trying to. I hardly ever see any information on him lately. And I mean, they keep pushing back his court date. So if there's any new news out, please let me know. Oh, thank you. Oh, so for people who don't know the difference between courtesan and concubine, concubine is like technically married to usually the royalty or aristocracy. They're like the handmaid in many ways, and you can move up the ranks and whatnot, and sometimes even get to marry the guy and be the wife. But courtesans were specifically highly educated, very well trained. They were meant to delight you mentally. Wordplay. They knew how to play all kinds of different sports and games, as well as entertain in other ways. But they were not always required to entertain in those other ways. Sometimes you just had really witty brunch parties and really fun, games and get-togethers and a little bit of tease here and there. But yeah, they were very well trained for the most part, and the best paid ones were not only highly educated, they were also, highly educated academically as well as carnally. So yeah. Oh, courtesan. Courtesan. I think I spelled that correctly. Thank you, darling. Yay! Oh, there's a new healthcare act named after Luigi. Oh, I am so happy about that. I am so happy about that. Like, honestly, a lot of stuff needs to change, and by and large, I think the populace needs to come together and... Oh, is it? I heard something, because California is my home state. I heard something was going on. I didn't realize that they had named the act after him. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, I love that. I absolutely adore that. But still, by and large, I think the populace needs to get together and, like, hammer out some details. Just even amongst ourselves, and then tell everybody else who's in charge, you either do this or we fire you personally, and you're not going to like that. You're really not going to like it if we have to fire you personally, because right now you're hurting us and we're tired. We are very tired. Here's the... I loathe capitalism specifically for this reason. Capitalism, or at least capitalists, do not follow their own rules that they set up. And because they don't follow their rules, they are breaking the system. And they think that they can break the system and that there will be no consequences for them. They do not realize that the end game of any completely broken monetary system is violence. And we're getting real close to that point, which is terrifying. Oh, yes, one card. I'm sorry. I didn't even see that come through. One card pull. I don't really think private insurances should exist anymore. They're a middleman. They take far too much money, and if we were to switch to the single payer model, aka state-run, or not government-run, nation-run healthcare, we could actually save billions, if not trillions, of dollars over the next 10 years. And yeah, we would have a much healthier populace. And the more healthy a populace is to begin with, the less and less they need healthcare. And the less they need healthcare, the less expensive it is. It's like this wonderful cycle. Not to mention they become far more productive. Oh yeah, and denial is fine. That's the whole thing, is we still need to teach a bit of class consciousness, but also we need to teach that them refusing to help us be healthy and get treatment is violence. It's a quiet style of violence. They don't have a direct knife to your throat kind of violence, but it is still incredibly violent and people do need to be held accountable for that. Yeah, a lot of people can't even get insurance. Like, there are children who can't. Yeah. I'm sorry. Let me focus up. Let me focus up just so I can do the one card pull, and we can definitely get back into the fray of it all. So far, doing pretty well tonight. Having a good time. Doing some tarot card readings. Anybody needs a read, Blinks are in Lio. It's only $5 per card, and then just come back and I read them live. That way, you know you're getting what you're asking for. Oh gods, no, we don't want to make me president. We don't we don't want to make me president. No. I know my temper would not hold. My temper would not hold. Not a bit. Not a minute. I'd be. No. So I'll tell you right now, my first executive order, I don't care if it was constitutional or not, would be putting a whole lot of political officials under some very, very hot figurative fire for what they've done, and I would want them held very much accountable for the harm that they did to basically 340 million civilian population. So yeah, no, I have very low tolerance for people who hurt civilian populations, especially on a large scale, and then treat it like they aren't literally so incredibly horrifically violent. Again, no, I don't want to rule. I don't want to rule like that. I'll explain what role I would take if I were to take anything. Oh, Ten of Wands. Okay. We do love our Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is a life well lived with experience, a road well traveled, long as it is. And often you have a lot of reserve, a lot to pull from, a lot to guide you, and you tend to carry those experiences with you. At the same time, it is also a card that recognizes that you do need to occasionally put down all the burden. You need to maybe go through and manage how much you have with you, because if you have too much burden on your back, you will tip and break. So, as you're traveling along this road that we call life, you're doing really good. You're chugging along. I know that the burden seems really heavy, and it is. But, like, take a minute. In fact, take 5 minutes. You know, just put everything down, reorganize it, see what little things, you know, you can either throw by the wayside because they don't serve you anymore, versus, you know, okay, this can stay with me, this can be really helpful, yeah, we still need to work on this a little bit more. Take your time, keep what serves you, clear away some of the detritus, and then, you know, when you've got a little bit of rest under your belt, when your feet are feeling a little bit better, a little less tired, a little less threadbare worn, it'll be so much easier to actually pick everything back up and continue moving. But yeah, make sure that you're clearing away the stuff that is not serving you. It's almost like when you get too much spare change in your purse. I know for some people that makes no sense, but sometimes when you get too much spare change in your purse, you're like, God damn, this thing is heavy. Like, did I put a brick in this? And then you go and you turn your purse out and you just put back all the stuff you actually need, like your wallet, your ID, you know, your chapstick or lipstick or whatever. Just all the little things that you need. And then you noticed, oh, I dumped out a bunch of receipts, some cough drops from the last World War somehow. How did those Werthers get in there? And then, you know, like a handful of change. You're like, oh, that makes sense why this felt so heavy and off kilter. There was just too much. So make the adjustments, make the changes, but don't worry that it is a long road. It's supposed to be experienced. It's not ever going to be for this, it is not ever going to be a quick journey. But yeah, the experiences along the way can make it so absolutely lovely and wonderful to go through. I don't know why, but the feet are important. For some reason, I can feel a tiredness, a very, very much tiredness in the ball and the heel. Almost like you haven't had enough, insole. You need to change out your shoes. In other words, change what you're doing. If you're wearing pumps, get kitten heels or flats. Yeah. I find it funny when people want to put me in places. You're welcome, my dear. I find it funny when people want to put me in places of extreme power. Mostly because I've been blue collar for most of my life, and I don't mind having an audience. Clearly, I like having an audience. But I'm not going to be the end-all, be-all for everything, and I think a delegation, a council, can serve so much better than just a singular person who dictates what is supposed to happen, what is supposed to go on. I mean, heck, look at the job that I truly, truly want to have, the career that I would love to have for the next couple of decades. I specifically would love to be a DOMME. One-on-one personal interactions with adjusted power dynamic makes me happy. It lights up a good part of my brain, but it's also, I find it far more cathartic to spend a couple of hours with one person helping to adjust their head in so many different ways and getting them to where they are far more functional and far more better adapted. And I know that comes in a lot of different ways, a lot of different functions. And not all of them are spicy. Not all interactions are spicy. Which I wish people understood more. But, yeah, no, I wanna educate, I wanna integrate, I wanna help people learn and adapt and whatnot. I don't know if I'd ever want a major amount of power. I would much more just be, what's the word I'm looking for? Revered counsel, I guess. A person who could give perspective. Person who could tell a group of people, hey, this is the pattern I'm recognizing. Here's some of the things I'm seeing pop up. Like, y'all may need to help people adjust and do things a little bit differently just because I'm noticing that people are not adapting well, and we need to do something to help curb some of the more maladaptive coping mechanisms that are going on, because those maladaptive coping mechanisms are going to play havoc within society and make things far more difficult for a society to run. Ooh, what? Ooh, yay, thank you. Yeah, I'm over because I am a worker now. I'm over on like 304 and SW Talk, and I am slowly seeing more and more books that I really want to pick up, and I'm putting some of them up on my Throne account. So if anybody wants to order some books for me, I believe there's also like surprise gifts. So you can order surprise gifts for me, and they will come directly to me. And yeah, I would love to get books on on Quinky, on Community, on even books on, for educational reasons, the erotic, especially ancient or even centuries old kind of stuff. I love that shit. That is one of my jams. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Because a lot of times you can see some of the crossover between how we view spicy adult time and how we run society. And when we were more positive towards spicy adult time, society tended to run better. But as we get more negative towards spicy adult time, shit starts to get real bad real fast. Oh, trust me. I I would love to put very rich and powerful men in their place, especially if I knew that I could help to influence them to act better and do better as people. Because a lot of times they're errant children who, it's so tempting to just, oh yeah. Thank you. Yes, if you go over to Throne, there are many ways to support me directly, and I do appreciate it. Also, if you need custom order stuff done, I'll make sure to try and have those very clearly listed. And depending on what you need to have done, just make sure you're on the right site to ask. That's all I gotta say. But yeah. Hello. How's everybody doing? Hanging out, chilling, doing well. I know we're going on a professional rant. It happens. Wow, is it 7:45 already? Holy shit. Time has been a flying. Hello. Hello, my darlings. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're over 12K. Thank you. Let me go ahead and draw a community card since you got me well past the 10K mark. As I prattle on. But yes, no. Please feel free to ask questions, even if they seem incongruent. ADHD. My brain loves taking a wander through all the different subjects and whatnot. So feel free to ask questions. You can even give me subjects that you think I will push back on. That is perfectly fine, quite honestly. I do not mind. And there are a few subjects that I will push back in a harsh way on. And usually people know pretty quickly what those subjects are. So, hey, Demon. Let me see what just came rocketing out of my hands. Boy, you want to talk about pattern recognition. Hello! How's everybody doing? Sorry, just moving these around just a touch. Like, this one is my own bias. I know that I'm already worried about a lot of things, and I'm always ready for a fight. You think? You think? Yeah. And of course, the Nine of Swords, again, a lot of stress. Oh, I'm wearing Magdalena. So Magdalena is my premium wool, premium velvet. It was, I think, the first trench coat that I made for myself. I want to say about 18 years ago. Yeah, about 17, 18 years ago. Holy shit. I love this thing. I love it to bits and pieces. It's one of my favorite pieces of all time. I have kept it with me. It's got high zippers all the way up under the arm and at the back. It vents really, really nicely. It also has corseting at the side, so if I want to close it down a little bit, I can. I absolutely adore it. Somebody's coming home. That's just the dogs going off. Now, I know that Judgment is going to be in my favor, but there are times I find Judgment to be a little bit frightening, a little unnerving. I hate being in trouble, because when people try and come at me like, you're gonna be in trouble, I get real hard-headed, real defensive. I get real bitey. I'm like, I don't want to fight right now. I don't want to fight right now. But also, I pulled or spilled the Nine of Pentacles plus the Queen of Wands, which is a whole lot of highbrow showing off, showing up, setting things up, getting things ready to go, getting them stable. Like, yeah, 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 yeah. It makes sense, but yeah. Oh, I don't. My landlords, they have pups. I specifically do not have dogs, but yeah. Right? I love making not only a multifunctional but a multifaceted coat, and still one of my favorite features. Is, the big witch's hood. Don't know why I cannot get you to set straight, really. Are we doing this? I never secured the back part of it, but yeah. So yeah, I always liked, the witches' hoods that would usually be on capes and whatnot when you're watching fantasy, shows and movies and whatnot. Yes! 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 There's a reason I called this coat Magdalena. And I meant that in the most lovely, free way. So, yes. Yes, it is. Um, but yeah, I loved those big billowing hoods and whatnot, that you would see, like, usually on witches' capes, or, fantasy and Renaissance, and, all that cloached hood, as it were. And so I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm putting on a jacket. Woo! Magdalena. So, again, this is probably the part of the Bible that the congregation was not happy that I picked up on. So in the Bible, and there's some contention to whether or not calling her a night worker was slander or not. But Magdalena was a woman of, let's call it, ill repute, soiled dove, more than likely. And she actually hung out with Jesus. Like, on the regular, hung out with Jesus and with the apostles at times. She was also the woman, I think she went with somebody named Sarah. It has been a long time since I've read this particular part. She was the woman who showed up at Jesus's tomb, and she was taking basically flowers and nice smelling herbs and whatnot, because his body had not been cared for, since he was buried basically right about where the Sabbath was. So, Good Friday, Jesus gets crucified and passes away in the same day, which is incredibly rare for that to happen. But yeah, gets pinned up, crucified, passes away on the same day. Saturday is the Jewish Sabbath, so no work can be done on that day. So they take him down Friday, like late afternoon, early evening, and basically lay him in somebody else's tomb. The person volunteered that tomb for him so that he could be stored, for the next couple days until they were able to give him a proper burial. They go, they bury him. They don't even have time to give him any of the ritual cleansings, any of the flowers, the herbs, the other things that would help keep a body slightly less stinky. So yeah, they just put him in there, go, and basically Saturday passes, and then Sunday comes around, and Magdalena and her friend show up to take care of the body, as it were, and they were the ones that discovered that the tomb was empty. So yeah, this SW, this person of ill repute, was the person who cared the most for what happened to this man. And she is not oft regarded much. She is sometimes barely mentioned, but I took away from it that Jesus didn't hang out with rich people. He didn't hang out with people who had a lot of clout, a lot of power. He didn't hang out with the Pharisees, with the senators, with the politicians, with, the kings and emperors and all that kind of stuff. He hung out with common folk and quite often kept the company of tax collectors, of night workers, of people who were deeply, deeply marginalized and disadvantaged. And he didn't rally against them and tell them, "Oh, you've done so many bad things." He just, you've shown up. We're gonna talk a little bit about, kind of some philosophy, like what my dad says we should be doing, how we can make society a little bit better. So, if you want to hang out, cool, we can do that. And, we can also walk and talk so we're not too much of a crowd inside the city. And, we'll go hang out on a nice hill outside of the town where we can all just, sit down, chill out, relax, have a picnic. That's the parts that I picked up on as a child, was the good deeds, the polite deeds, the niceness, the not treating, especially the lowest and the most marginalized poorly, because quite literally it says, what you do unto the least of me, or what you do unto the least of you, you do unto me. It's the fucking Beatitudes. He was just a chill dude trying to make shit better. And of course, he got taken out by very rich and powerful people. But I guess that's how that was supposed to be, right? Yeah. They either wanna obliterate her presence and just not even mention her, or they want to demean who and what she was. Oh, she was just a lowly night worker. We don't really look at her. Ooh, look at his apostles. Look at his apostles. I'm like, his apostles were a-holes. Especially Peter and Saul. Those dudes were awful. They were so misogynistic. They were honestly what set Christianity up to be a very misogynist leaning religion as a whole. So yeah. What alimony? I have never been married. Fuck getting that alimony. I would rather get that coin, spend a couple hours, get that coin, get somebody's head well adjusted, and do that. Because I find absolutely zero shame in pleasure. I don't find shame in consenting adults doing consenting adult things. especially when it leaves their headspace better adjusted and leaves them in a better mood to treat others well, shall we say. But yeah. Hello, how's everybody doing? We're having a interesting little wandering conversation, as it were. Not yet. I have not yet. Get me to 20k, I will do the soda can tricks. I've actually got... Oh, I've got 1 skill and I've got 1 finesse. So, yeah. Right. They are definitely doing their thing. I have pretty much forsaken bras for a while now. Good God, they are just not comfortable unless I am, like, getting all kinds of dolled up. When I'm just relaxing, I'm just relaxing. It used to be I always had to wear a bra or else I'd be just wildly self-conscious. And just more recently, I'm like, I'm firmly in there and, you know what? Fuck it. Because I believe in the laws of gravity. Well, not even just S. Not even just spicy fun time is good. Like, being able to readjust your headspace and deal sometimes either with trauma, especially trauma around control, around shame, just being able to indulge in a non-judgmental space tends to make you more functional. Is it always the best thing? No. Not great people will do not great things. Some people overindulge, but that's usually a symptom of other stress that is going on in their life that is driving their need to find the dopamine. So, a lot can be solved by giving people enough to eat, enough to drink, a space of shelter, just be taken care of. A lot of maladaptive behaviors go away when people are treated well, with little to no judgment, and are actually heard when they need to speak and when they need to communicate. There's only a certain type of people who do not wish for others to have just regular human comfort, and those people make society a lot worse. A lot worse. So, yeah. Trust me, I could rant about that shit for a good long while. Hello. Goodness, I'm sorry. Pardon. ASMR? No. So yes. Bring the banter. Questions, commentary, things you wished me to speak on, by all means, throw it out there. We can do it all. And of course I have my tarot cards on me, so if anybody needs to read, blinks are on Lyle, $5 per card, all that kind of good stuff. Now, it just popped into my head. As I do my migration over to other apps to do live streams, especially if this platform goes down for even a day, because we all know what's happening. As I migrate towards favorited, I am probably going to lean a little bit more heavily into persona, and I will be refining that particular persona. I might even try to... I'm not going to say split my time amongst multiple apps per se, but I might still try and have a couple of nights or at least a platform or two where I very specifically just am sanguine. Just do what I do here, but elsewhere. But yes, I do want to lean a little bit more heavily into the master in a battery, empress in a battery, goddess in a battery type persona. So if you notice a little bit of a shift, a little bit of a difference, I don't want you to panic. It is just that I am leaning more towards that persona because I am working on branding myself in a particular way. So, yeah. Which honestly is just me being me, but in my particular way, if you know what I mean. But yeah. Hello, hello. Do, do, do. How is everybody? Do, do, do. I had a thought and it completely. I'm like, I was gonna start it, and nope, fluttered away. Thanks, ADHD. Damn it. Ah. Anyway. Actually, part of me is wondering if I can integrate. Yeah, I should be able to integrate the witchcraft and whatnot into what I'm doing. Oh God. Taurus is fine. We can be friends. Taurus tend to be pretty chill, pretty relaxed. They're not confrontational per se, but they are very self-assured. And when they plant their feet, they really plant their feet. They're pretty hard to actually make mad, but they are a stubborn earth sign. And they will definitely make their thought process known, but sometimes they do plant their feet a little too firmly. And forget to listen. But yeah, Taurus men are not my favorite because they tend to be a little bit more assertive with their thoughts, and they don't tend to be taught how to listen a little bit more. But again, that's more a function of the gender that they've been socialized into, not so much just their sign per se, because Taurus women can also be very stalwart, stubborn, very, very, this is my thought, this is how it's going to go, I am not changing my opinion on that, da-da-da-da. But they were taught and socialized to listen a little bit more, so they don't have quite the same way of going about things. But again, they're not like, neither side is bad. Neither side is bad. It's just how they've been socialized. Honestly, I enjoy their stubbornness sometimes, because if you need something done, if you need something handled, especially of just like, getting, I need this moved from point A to point B. Hey, we need to like figure out the logistics on, this particular project, and I need to make 3 phone calls. Please help me make 3 phone calls. Yeah, they'll get you from point A to point B. They're tough about that. But yeah, like sometimes it's about how they were socialized more than anything, honestly. How to I always love when somebody asks, "How do you handle a narcissist?" Grew up. I cannot say for sure that my father was a narcissist, but there was a lot of markers there. Don't run. Run, but run without sprinting. If you run, they get target lock and they will pursue, because they're not done having the last fucking word. There's a good chance that they're gonna throw tantrums. There's a good chance that they're going to even possibly become violent. Like, don't ever think that they are not going to do anything other than be a big old tantrum piss baby. Um, be calm. Be as absolutely calm as stone. Gather your things very slowly, very quietly, and then get the fuck out of Dodge. And do not look back. Narcissists do not care about your boundaries. They don't. They will find ways to push them. They will find ways to negate them. They will find ways to get around them, because what you want is not important. What they need, that control, is the only thing that matters to them. Full stop. So yeah, when you try and cut the supply, as it were, they will up the ante. They will try to break you. This is why I'm saying I'm pretty sure my father was a narcissist. Because anytime I didn't do what he wanted, I would catch absolute hell. And sometimes it was emotional, psychological, sometimes it was physical. And he wouldn't stop until I was broken, until I cried, basically, out of pure rage, frustration, whatever, just defeat. That was his goal. If I wasn't going to comply, he was going to break me till I cry. He put his hands on me. He did. No, multiple. So many occasions of him doing that. Do not be afraid to defend yourself to the utmost. Especially if that narcissist has ever shown a compunction to get violent and physical. If you need to defend yourself, defend yourself. Absolutely defend yourself. Worry about jail time later. Survive in the moment. Best thing you can do as far as just dealing with a narcissist head on, starve them. Absolutely starve them. Don't give them the emotion. They want you crying. They want you angry. They want you incensed. They want you yelling and screaming. Because that way they can play the victim so much easier. Oh my God, I can't believe it. She was yelling and screaming and throwing things at me, and I don't know where that came from. She just doesn't seem to be able to control her temper, and I love her so much. I can't just leave her like that. Oh my God, they will paint themselves as the victim so hard, so fast. Now, my mother was an enabler. My father didn't even have to put on the, oh, I can't believe. No, my mother's, you really shouldn't make him that mad. Things wouldn't be so bad if you just didn't upset him so much. Yeah. You starve a narcissist. You give them nothing. Just, yep, okay, uh-huh. No, I don't care if you're on the floor. Get your shit, get out. In fact, I'll put it in a box for you. There's the door. No, you don't want to go? Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and set that on the front porch for you. And do you want me to call my besties first? Or do you want me to call the authorities first? Which ones? And literally do it with that. Do it with that. I'm sure a couple of you have seen me when we get like some of the more insistent trolls in here. I don't get really mad. I get dry. I get, really? Really? Because narcissists are sadists, just with extra steps. So yeah, you starve them. You give them no crying, no yelling, no screaming. You don't have to raise your voice at all. Look as disinterested as humanly possible. And you don't laugh. That's the other thing, is don't laugh. Don't goad them. That can very quickly escalate them to a violent outburst. If you keep yourself as dry as possible, even while they are losing their shit, just yeah. None of what you have just yelled at me is changing my mind at all. This is done. You can go. Make sure, especially if you know that you've been in a relationship with a narcissist for a prolonged period of time, get cameras. I am dead ass serious about this. Get cameras, not just inside your place that you're living, especially if you're sharing space with them. Make sure you also get cameras for the outside and a camera in your car. And then start making sure that you're doing sweeps for tracking devices and for bugs in the house, or where you live. Because not all of them will do this. Some are just low-level narcissists. But like some of the higher-level narcissists, they will go to extremes. And then also let your landlord, if you have a landlord, your neighbors, your friends know that you have broken it off with this person, that they were abusive, that they probably have a narcissistic personality, that they, if they threaten violence, let them know that they threaten violence. I am no contact with them. I do not want to hear from them. If they call you, go ahead and block their number. Like, I want nothing to do with them. And if they come around here, you have my permission to like call the authorities or let security know or whatever. This person is persona non grata here. And no matter how much they cry, no matter how much they call, try and contact you, try and contact your friends, try and get back into your life, if anybody goes, oh, come on, just have one meeting with him, absolutely no. And if you press that point, I will cut you out of my life too. You will either respect the boundary of I have no contact with this person, or you can go too, because I'm not going to have you place me in mortal danger. End of story. That part. And that's actually how you catch them. Because if they can see one camera, always have at least one or two hidden ones. But if they can see that camera, they will try and move that around. That shows that they are doing something with malice aforethought. Keep all of the fucking receipts. I am so dead ass serious. Keep all of the fucking receipts. And if there's anything that they gave to you, especially a big ticket item, if you can give it back to them, do it. They hate that shit. They really, because they think they have a way to stay in your life. They think that they have a way to control you when they give you a big ticket item that they know that you're going to need to rely on. If you can give it back to them, that way you also know that they don't have access implanted in that thing. It'll drive them up a wall, but it will also let them know that you are done. You are done. Just left. Hired a lawyer. Good. Oh, very good. Oh, very good. Yeah, like honestly, especially if you've resided together for any amount of time, let alone been like married, engaged, yeah, get a lawyer. Get a lawyer. Get a lawyer. And be very clear about what kind of timelines any proceedings are expected to stick to. Like, no, I can't show up in, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. This needs to be resolved in fast fashion so that I can maintain timelines, especially for like children. So like when it comes to schooling, pickups, drop-offs, all that kind of stuff, make sure those boundaries not only are super clear, but they're written down. Like, give them no wiggle room, none whatsoever. And again, keep yourself as, even if they are bold-faced ass lying, keep your face as neutral as fuck. Keep your voice as neutral and just go, especially if it's like a court setting, none of that is true. Here's all the proof. Here's everything that was written down. Here's all these things. You know, I have been trying. These are all my receipts. This is what happened. I have it all documented for a reason because I knew that this was going to happen. And, you know, if you want to hit them with perjury, by all means, feel free. But yeah, like this, that's not how that goes. This is what's going on. Everything. Just beat the truth to death in any arena you get in with them. Mm-hmm. Good. Good. Good, good, good. Good. And if you find out that you are carrying and there might be some doubt whether or not they are the parent, do not put their name on the birth certificate. If at all you can avoid that, do not put their name on the birth certificate. The moment that name is on there, whether that is actually their child, not their child, whatever, does not matter. But yeah, like, the moment their name is on it, that means that they actually do have claim and they will be in your life fighting for custody, dragging you to court every inconvenient chance they can. So, and if you decide, I don't think I can go through with this because that, then don't. Absolutely do not. Absolutely do not. Especially if it's early on. Take care of it very, very quietly and get the fuck out of Dodge. Because literally the most hellaciously dangerous time for a pregnant person, or I'm sorry, for a person who is in an abusive or toxic relationship, is during pregnancy. They are not even just the body being in upheaval, but that is a stressor, especially for an abuser, and you are far more likely to meet a very violent interaction, if not end, especially since there is so much portents put on legacy, so much put on, oh, that's our child together, that's my child. They treat kids like property and like bargaining chips. So be fucking careful, especially if you know you're dealing with a narcissist that has a high drive. A high drive. That is never a good thing. You can take care of it quietly. If a miscarriage just happens, again, keep it quiet and get going. Especially with the way the laws are currently. If you have a miscarriage, do not let them know. Do not tell them. Go far, far away and tell next to no one. Because with certain laws in certain states, you can get charged for having a miscarriage. Oh, Your Honor, I think she, did something to herself to cause the miscarriage, to cause the spontaneous abortion. I bet she was maybe she took pills, maybe she was self-harming. I think she's a danger to herself and others. Yeah, they will find practically any reason to get back into your life. I dated a narcissist. Fucking Leo. Hated him. And oh my god, we only had one. No, I'm sorry. We had two conversations about pregnancy. One was, did I ever wanna? And I was like, fuck no. No, no, I'm not ever gonna have them, and I'm not gonna ever need one. No, thank you. No, no, no. He kept pushing the point on a different occasion. I finally just looked him. I know this is cold, but it was the truth. I looked him dead ass in the face and I went, I'm never gonna have a kid because if I were to ever get pregnant by you, I would sit on a rusty railroad spike before I decided to have your kid. Again, I'm brutal. I understand that. I know that. But I needed him to know 100,000% for sure I would do everything in my power to make sure he never, ever had any sort of control over me, my life, or my body. I needed it to be so brutal and so honest that he recognized I would not for one say, oh God, I'm pregnant. I guess we can give this a shot. No, absolutely in the fuck not. You want to talk yeetus this fetus? I will load this thing into a fucking slingshot, motherfucker. For distance. For distance. Like, I wasn't playing around. I was not playing around. Because that's the whole thing is he kept pushing it. So pattern recognition clicked over that, oh, maybe I can change the opinion. Maybe I can circumvent the consent and the will. And I was like, oh, I think you have lost your damn mind. You're fucking with the wrong person. Like you want to talk bullheaded. You want to talk about the fiery old goat, the Aries moon. Like, nope, 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 absolutely in the fuck. And trust me, when I tell you his face fell so hard. Oh, it took everything in me not to go. He already had a kid with another person. I didn't know for, I think, at least the first couple months that he had a kid with another person. It just let slip during conversation that he had a whole ass, almost teenager with another person. I'm like, if you have a child, you've never had them. Oh, do you not have custody? Like, do you share custody? Just so I know if I'm gonna have to like flex around a schedule. Oh no, I don't ever see the kid. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? Oh yeah, I never see the kid. It's okay though. He doesn't need me around. Yeah, he doesn't even really know me. How do you have a whole ass kid and you don't spend any time with him? Well, his mom takes care of it all. That let me know right there. He has a whole ass kid. He does not see them, and he does not care to see them, which was a giant fucking red flag. Giant fucking red flag. And the very fact that he was so cavalier about never needing to see his kid, deadbeat. Deadbeat. 1000% deadbeat right there. I was never going to get trapped. I was absolutely never ever going to get trapped with somebody who would do that. Especially, and talk about it so cavalier. That burned my ass. That definitely burned my ass. I was like, no, no, no. He was not a good person. He was not. When you deal with a narcissist, don't give them an inch. Do not to make you suffer for it.